to your reading. Welcome back, those of you that have been here. I've already pre-shuffled. I've already opened the spread actually on this one. So I'm just going to run it down with you. We have the Empress, the Eight of Swords, the Moon, Temperance, Eight of Pentacles, Two of Cups, Three of Cups, Justice, the Fool as the underlying energy, and I already got two clarification cards, the Hierophant and the Five of Wands. So what I am picking up on, what I was already running through, the spread is seeing someone feeling stuck. Like that's the overall energy, is this Empress here is feeling stuck. And when I inquired more about where it's coming from and what it's about, it seems connected to people's gaze and or their perception of you. So I broke it down more and more, and what I kept getting is like people around you or their gaze or the way they perceive you is never neutral. Some admire you, some envy you, some love you, some hate you, some want to be you, some don't want you here. It's never neutral. So this Empress here that I'm reading for is picking up on that, and also what it has to do, because it is an Empress, it has to do with your power. So this can be those of you in the collective that have been feeling like you've been making certain moves, or you've been leveling up, or you've been sort of reaping benefits of the fruits of your labor. You have certain blessings coming in. You may be feeling better, looking better, however it's been manifesting for you. That in itself, a certain environment you're either in or the people you have around you, there's a loaded energy. It's not neutral. It's clarified by the Five of Wands as well. It's one of either feeling irritated by you, feeling conflicted about who you are and who they remember you to be. There's just a lot of energy surrounding you, and it's not neutral. And it seems to be keeping this Empress sort of stuck, or you're just feeling inhibited. You may be picking this up as like, I cannot be fooling myself here, or if I open my mouth, I have to be careful what I say because it's going to get misunderstood, it's going to get misconstrued. There's an overall like feeling of they don't get me or you don't get me. So you could be getting that or feeling that with certain people. There's like an overall also like feeling of irritation. So again, I don't know who exactly in the collective is feeling this, but you may just be either in an environment or you're surrounded by people, yeah, that feel sort of irritated by you, or feel irritated by you stepping into your power, or you being in your power, or you like being yourself. Even it's as simple as that, because some of you are powerful just by being yourself. Like that is your power. Authenticity is your power. Being authentically and unapologetically yourself is your power for some of you. So apparently, yeah, it's sort of like rubbing certain people the wrong way, and it doesn't mean you should stop, and I don't feel like you're gonna stop. I don't see it like inhibiting you in a way that you're not gonna keep doing what you feel like you need to do, but it may just be you may just be picking up on the tension, because I see that in the cards. There's tension surrounding you, and there's tension surrounding the energy that you're currently inhibiting. So we do have the Fool out, and the Hierophant was actually the underlying energy. So what I'm getting from this, more the Fool energy, is that you may be noticing all of this more so because you are sort of in a new chapter. This is giving like an old chapter, closing the door on an old chapter and wanting to move into a newer energy, or you yourself moved into a newer energy. Like you may not be vibrating at the same frequency that these certain people also used to. And we touched upon that on Patreon as well. That was the most recent reading, was Gemini reading. So I mean, it's a close-knit community, close-knit collective that I can pick up on, and more so this is more the broader collective, but it does seem to be, yeah, a topic for a lot of you. Let me just get more on the Moon and Temperance. Yeah, it looks like some people are just hiding the way they feel about you. Like they're not fully, I mean, of course, most people won't overtly tell you if they have a problem with you. They might, you might just pick up on it. Like some are subtle about it, some are not very subtle about it. I'm also getting that tone seems really important here, like the tone that people talk to you in, or if someone picks up the phone, and like just the way like the way people talk to you apparently is giving you a lot of information. Like some of you are very sensitive. You hear through the way people talk to you whether they have some underlying issues with you. And like I'm hearing some it's subtle and others it's not subtle at all. So that seems to be an indication for a few of you. And the overall, I mean, the message that is coming through is that it's not, that's their issues. You can't take it on you to either overanalyze that or try to figure out why they have an issue, because that is their issue. You don't have to make that your issue, but the fact that it's coming up in your spread as much as it is right now can indicate that it is something that, for one, you are registering yourself. Two is that you do think about it, or you may sort of slip into conditioning where you do think it's something that's wrong with you, whereas these people are showing you the limit. They're showing you the limit as to how, whether they can hold the frequency with you or not. And I know frequency and like that can be woo-woo language, but at the end of the day, that's what it's coming down to, is either you're aligned or you're misaligned. And when people feel underlying irritation towards you, that's already showing that you and said person on some levels are misaligned. And it can be with your parents, it can be with siblings, it can be with family members, it can be with friends you've known for years, that just suddenly shifts. And you may not have an overt explanation for it, other than there's a misalignment, like you're not aligned with said person, because if you're aligned with a person, you don't have that. There will be natural ease. There will be ease for you to be yourself. You don't have to question yourself. You don't have to, you won't feel judged, or you won't feel like you have to explain who you are, what you're doing. There's just ease, an overall sense of ease. And here, this specifically is the opposite. So either this is coming up for you to give you sort of confirmation of what you've already been picking up on, because a lot of the times in these cases you will start either blaming you for it, or you make yourself out as, I'm just being paranoid, or I'm just making shit up, when you're really not. You will feel it in your body when people have contempt or animosity towards you. And for some of you, really is family members. I am getting that strongly, family members or people that you would have never thought feel this way about you, but they do. And again, the gap that the feeling is not for you to bridge the gap. It can be as well because the Empress is out. It can be because you're inhibiting an energy, a frequency that is higher ranking, and it makes them feel inferior, or it makes them feel like they're lacking and slacking off somewhere. And here as well, what is really interesting is that it is as well happening with people that on paper are better off than you. They may have more credentials, they may have more money in the bank, they may have more of this or that, but still feel, they feel a type of way about you, about the energy that you just naturally inhibit and embody. So that in itself is already telling you that you can't change that. How do you want to change that? Yeah, you can, bend yourself like a pretzel to make others feel comfortable, but as an Empress, you will know better than that. You know that that's not what you've come here to do, and you can't really, it will take so much energy and it will make you feel exhausted, which in the initial spread, I did pick up a lot of that as well, just feeling exhausted, feeling tired. Maybe you're even just tired of feeling this way, like there is an overall energy as well of this not being something new. You may just now be aware of it. Tell me more, please. Yeah, I mean, I have the Hermit sideways and I have the Nine of Pentacles sideways. So what to watch out for is really, where do you feel like you need to sort of hide? Or where do you feel like, oh, I'm not really welcome here, or I feel like I'm a burden, or I feel like I'm a bother. Because it's not that you actually are, it's that you're around people that are making you feel that way. Yeah, I understand why it would be confusing as well here, because here there's an energy, it's like it's not neutral, and also it's not consistent. It's the same people that make you feel that way can also be supportive in other ways. Or, you know, they love you and they care for you and they don't want to let go of you, or they can't let go of you. It's like it's a mixture which can feel very confusing. I'm getting it's not in itself like black or white. There's like a mixture of, well, for example, someone being consistent, so they call when they say they call, they show up when they say they show up, but when they do show up, they're irritated, or they, like, you're just questioning, do you even like me, do you even fuck with me that way, because it doesn't seem like you do, but then other behavior, some of the behavior shows that they do. So I'm getting this is confusing. Like some connections apparently, or some people you have around you, their behavior is confusing. It's not, you can't overtly say, well, they don't like me, and you can't overtly say, well, they do like me. It's like it may be one day it's like that, the next day it's like that. But what to look out for is how it's registering within your body, because before you go into your head and you start looking for explanations, or you start looking for faults within yourself, or you start looking for excuses why said person is being the way they are, what will give you the most information is how it registers in your body instantaneously before you go looking for answers, because that's basically all you need to know. Like if it's something in your body feels uncomfortable, or you can feel how your energy is like you're making yourself smaller, your field is like contracting, it's not expanding, or it's not as expansive as you may be used to if you're either alone or if you're in another environment, that is already giving you the information that you need. You don't need to question that. Because here as well, the Nine of Pentacles is sideways, so you're definitely moving in environments where your natural confidence is not being celebrated. It's like it's a problem, and the reason it's a problem is because it's making other people feel inferior to you. It's making other people, their insecurities flare up, and then you pick up on their projections. And if you're not skilled, or you don't recognize this, it can then you just react, like your body and your energy field just reacts. But that's why you're being asked to look out for this, because you can either remove yourself, or you can try stay within your center, even though you are in these environments. Although I'm hearing the word uncomfortable, like uncomfort, that's another thing too that's gonna give you confirmation of this, is if you just blatantly feel uncomfortable, you just don't feel comfortable. And here as well, it's just that you can feel uncomfortable with family members, or with friendships that have been with like long people that you've known for years, that maybe at one point you didn't feel that way, but now that you do, and that's all that matters. You don't need to question that. But yeah, I am seeing someone really conflicted and confused, and that in itself is already really taxing you apparently, because it's just like a lot of mental noise that you shouldn't have to deal with. Because like already came through, it's really not your issue. Like how can you deal with everyone's insecurities just because you are the way you are? You are the way you are, you show up. As an Empress as well, there is a level of an alignment and embodiment that not every person reaches, and that in itself will create a gap that others feel. So they will feel inferior, they will have insecurities flare up, like is happening anyway. But what doesn't seem fair is that you are the one that needs to, you know, make yourself small, close yourself, sit on your mouth when you want to share certain things, or you have an opinion that may be controversial, or you can just already sense, oh, if I'm going to open my mouth here, it's going to be a problem. Like that's not fair. And everyone else around you is allowed to run their mouth, like it's not an issue. You know, it's just, it's very, it feels very imbalanced. In this can also manifest, so this may be specific for someone, as like people within your environment do one thing is fine, when you do it, it's an issue. When you do the exact same thing, it's an issue. Yeah, I'm hearing under attack, like that is definitely a form of attacking, you know, your psyche, attacking your being. It is that, because it's not fair. How is that fair? So definitely do not. I feel like the main reason this is coming up for you is that you have confirmation, that you don't spiral and you go into a weird loop where you really start like on some level, you like where you really start feeling like something is wrong with you because it's not. And I'm also seeing this is why, like this, whether this has been recent or this has been a lifelong story or a lifelong pattern, I'm seeing how this has been affecting your love life. Because it's like, even when someone is aligned, there's a level of like, I don't trust this, or there's a level of like, oh, well, how long will this last? Because some of you apparently have really already experienced the way it's coming through and the way I see it in the cards, like people switching up on you. Because there's some trauma here underlying of exactly what we've been talking about. Again, whether this has been a lifelong thing or if this has just been you really being aware of this recently, but there's some trauma surrounding this, and I see how it's affecting relationships that are actually meant to either stick, like, I mean, Two of Cups energy, some of you that read tarot, you know that is like a Two of Cups. When you get to experience a Two of Cups energy in your life, it's exactly that I was describing for you. There's ease, you can be yourself, you don't feel judged, you can take up space, you're being celebrated. Like when you call someone up or you go to see them, they're happy to see you, they're happy to talk to you. There's no, you don't question your position, you don't question how you're being perceived, because you can feel in your body there's ease, you feel relaxed, you feel safe. That's the Two of Cups energy. So the fact that it's hard, like it's either hard work recognizing that, or it's hard work for you to trust that when it manifests, that is showing me that there's definitely trauma here. There's definitely trauma around relationships and trust, and you may just feel unfamiliar. Like when a Two of Cups manifests when you are with someone, I just keep getting when that manifests for you and you get like sort of a taste of what that feels like. There's a part of you that either expects the worst, or it's just, there's an overall, what I kept getting is like, how long is this going to last? Before I go to the end spread, I just want more. Yeah, there's just an overall, there's also an issue, like what actually caused the trauma or what caused traumatic experiences is that there's a constant here of your boundaries being overridden. Your boundaries just not, people not respecting your boundaries, people not respecting your no, people not respecting your need for space or whatever you may need. Like your boundaries being overridden is a constant here. And that as well is why certain certain aligned, like that's what makes this whole, like for me, so it makes it a bit worse, is that I see that you manifest aligned connections. And of course we can argue like, okay, well, past relationships were aligned at one point as well. Like I get that there's, it changes and maybe it's aligned at one point and then it's misaligned. Like that's common sense, right? We know that. But it's more that it feels like there's certain connections either coming in or that I've already presented themselves, which are meant to be in, like they're meant to accompany you for the next years. Like these feels like lifelong relationships, lifelong friendships, lifelong like partners or lifelong partner. Like that seems to be the phase you're stepping into or the phase you're already in. So what I feel like I need to address with you is why either you cannot hold it, why do you not trust it, or why is it like what's the problem basically? Because it looks like hard work. It's not like, oh, there's this connection coming into line, I can enjoy it, we can see where it goes. Is like already bringing up all the past times that you just felt like, okay, I open up and then either the information I share gets used against me at one point, that is one of the issues I'm picking up on, and or just being subtly undermined. Like it's it seems so unfair, and I feel really, really sad for whoever is and has experienced this, because you're not bothering anyone. Like, you're not walking into space and you're like, oh, I'm the fucking king or the queen of the world, I'm gonna make everyone uncomfortable. It's just, you're just simply existing. You exist, you walk into space, and you apparently are perceptive enough that you just pick up on the subtleties of how, yeah, they either some are irritated, they just don't like you for whatever reason. Like, it's more so that may be another indication that you sort of fixate on that, because like I said at the beginning, it's not just that. You also have people that love you for who you are and that admire you, but you may just not see that. It's sort of also tying into hypervigilance. Like, you scan who may have a problem with you so that you can already preemptively amped up, like, so that you already know who to be on the lookout for. Like, this feels very, yeah, this feels like tied to hypervigilance. Like, you have to be on the lookout. And the reason I feel like sort of, yeah, I just feel sad that you have to, it just feels this is something that's been with your life for a long time. This is like, yeah, I want to say childhood shit, where you apparently just learn to scan your environment. So in other words, for me, that looks like this has been, yeah, maybe close relatives or just people that were close to you, that we could say in an ideal world would have been there to protect you or were meant to protect you, were actual the culprits. And that your nervous system never got to relax. It never got out of that. It never got out of that hypervigilant space. So now in adult life, you're still scanning your environment, and then you constantly get confirmations, or in certain environments that you go into, and this is what I'm gonna ask you to notice yourself, because you will notice it exactly how you already got encouraged to do so, how it registered in your body. And I want to say steer clear from certain people. Just steer clear, stay clear. I know I look so fucking tired. The hay fever, yeah, is like, if anything's gonna take me out, it's the hay fever. But anyway, it's beside the point. I mean, I do see the Three of Cups at the end and Justice, so we didn't get to that yet. You will get to celebrate, or you will get to find yourself in spaces where you feel celebrated and you feel, you know, like it's okay to be yourself. That is part of your karma, like that is part of the justice. It's just like, when are you gonna get there? Or that's what you may be asking yourself, like, when am I gonna experience that? When am I gonna get there? Or what choices do I need to make to get there? So let's touch on that. Because the thing is, because the way I've been reading it and picking up, because it's so familiar, you may be unconsciously choosing to put yourself in said environments, like without even being fully aware that you do that. Because when something is familiar, even if it's not good for us, it's still registered as like, either this is all I've known, or this is safe, even though it's not safe, just because it feels familiar. And that's why you may even have a hard time with relationships, because you may be choosing relationships where you just feel the same as you do in these environments that you either grew up in, or you were just constantly scanning, like micro aggressions and just how people, yeah, like, I don't know. It's not even coming from, I want to say it's not even coming from you caring too much how you're being perceived. It's that you just perceive it, you just pick up on it, whether you care about it or not. It's just a constant, you just pick up on it, you see the subtleties. So meaning, if someone has low-key irritation or aggression towards you, it's not neutral, it's not something that just passes you by and you're oblivious to it. It looks like, the way this spread is set up is that you're very, very aware of that. Yeah, dude, I'm really sorry you have had to experience this, because it's just a lot of bullshit you had to. It just looks like, yeah, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse, so you just dealt with people who also thought they were slick. Like you wouldn't notice how they feel about you, or you wouldn't notice how they are looking at you or what they're projecting onto you, and they were trying to be slick. There's also a massive energy of still wanting access to you. And that's where the confusion comes from, because you dealt with people who didn't like you, were irritated you exist, were irritated that you are the way you are, but still wanted access. Like that's some fuck shit that would like that confuses anyone. And this is my personal opinion, but I don't know why people want to be close to people that they don't like, because for me that is a mental illness. Like you have issues if you don't like someone and you're still following them and you're still looking at this shit, you're still calling them up, you want to be close to them, you have an issue. You have like there's something that is mentally imbalanced in your head that is not normal. So the fact that I'm reading for that you had to deal with that is not something you need to tolerate. That's why this spread feels so significant, because you register this shit, you feel it. What you may just not have done up to now or for a very long time, because the Queen of Swords is in reverse, you just either let these people freely come around you, or you were just, you didn't you didn't close the door on them. And I'm apparently here to tell you, as the messenger of the energy that's coming through, that you definitely get to close the door and say, fuck you, I don't want anything to do with you. Don't come trying to be slick. When we both know you don't like me. Why do you want to be my friend? Why do you want to hang out with me? We both know you don't like me, and you're just dealing with or have dealt with people that thought they were slick about it, that you weren't clocking that shit. They may have just gotten, with the King of Pentacles clarifying your spread, like your energy, you have a natural, either you draw in a lot of opportunities, you may get a lot of respect naturally, you may get a lot of, like King of Pentacles can speak of having a good reputation as well, so of course people want to get close to you. But yeah, it seems like the main issue, or why this also has been affecting you, is because there was not the necessary boundaries in place, and that can be due to even other issues that as well can stem from childhood, where the first instances that you set boundaries or you said no already got overridden. Like I already told you, I was picking up on that being a real big issue in the full spread, that either there's been a constant, well, I got it as a constant, but imagine if as your child and you're setting boundaries and it doesn't, like you're basically saying in your childlike way what is comfortable to you and what not, and you have people around you that don't take that seriously and they keep overriding that, you become, you're like programmed. This is also where some speak of grooming. When you get groomed is when you don't have that sense, you're not really in tune with your yes and your no anymore, and that's how you get taken advantage of, and you come into really sticky situations. So again, I'm really sorry who experienced this, but looking past that, now you know what would be good to work on, and it's definitely setting boundaries, and or a combination of just really finding that relationship, like nurturing that relationship you have to your body, because your body is so intelligent in that way, in that it tells you what is good for you and what is not. And it's as simple as I told you already. Like that is the main advice that is coming through for you in this spread, is that you listen to how it registers in your body, because your body is going to tell you when you feel comfortable and when you don't feel comfortable. And what I'm getting to really look out for is that you need to get out of your head, like if it's close relationship, like I kept getting family ties and even parents, siblings. Of course, you may go through a process of grief if you, for example, notice, well, damn, or you may even comment, or you already know, Alicia, this is like, I feel this way with my parent, or I feel this way with my cousin, or I feel this way with my sibling, or I feel, like you may, once it hits you in a way where you cannot wish it away, or you cannot think it away, or you cannot make excuses for it, and you're really just left with, doesn't matter what ties I have to this person, whenever I'm with them, I don't feel comfortable, and that's the truth. Yeah, you're gonna be confronted with some shit that maybe you were just not, you may have just not wanted it to be true, or it may have been difficult to have to accept that you may not have the relationship you thought you would with that person, or they, like, this is what I'm saying, whether you go into full analysis why this person feels the way you do, which is not your responsibility. What is your responsibility in this case if you really want to start choosing relationships, or start putting yourself in environments where you will feel celebrated and you will feel like it's okay to be yourself? This just needs to happen. You need to first register where you don't feel that way, and you may really, with the Queen of Swords being in reverse here, you just may really need to take action, meaning you need to start having boundaries. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna just pull a bit more. Ace of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, Four of Wands, Tower. Yeah, the thing is, you're gonna be okay. It's also is like, I can't keep stressing this, but I feel really upset for whoever. The thing is, all right. The thing is, why I'm saying this is because you have a lot of natural talents. You have a lot of natural gift. You have a lot that you generate like just from the way you're built up, the way you're set up. We can also talk of energy, just the way at the level you vibrate, and just the energy you embody and exude. You naturally have, like, it's like your powerhouse, and you naturally attract abundance to you. And it just looks like, that's what I'm saying, having this and growing up in an environment, or just having been in an environment from a very young age where you were not allowed to protect yourself, you were not allowed to say, like, you were not allowed to set boundaries, your boundaries were getting overridden, then just having had to tolerate exactly this fuck shit that came up, or you just learn to tolerate it, being around people where you always felt they don't like me, they don't mean well for me, they don't have good intentions, but still having to be around them, where you just learned as a coping mechanism to make yourself small, to make yourself less creative, less intelligent, less knowing than what you actually do, like sort of dumbing yourself down to fit into certain environments is what it feels like here. Yeah, you it's like you got tricked out of your inheritance. Like, this is what spiritualists, when they talk about your inheritance being stolen from you, in brackets, this is a form of how that manifests, is because you were not held in your end. Like, how do I explain this? You couldn't fully inhibit the energy that is naturally yours, and you couldn't fully take up space, because this is like the whole spread that I'm getting for you. This is like survival. This was you surviving. This is you surviving environments, or you learning to cope with certain people, and just learning to survive. Basically, you survive. This is a coping mechanism. So now, with the Tower out, and the reason why I'm reading this for you in the first place, I have another Tower, is because all of this is breaking down. And why it's breaking down is because you're becoming aware of it. That's the only reason why I could even read it for you. Why it's coming up is because you are becoming aware of it, and or you are being made aware of it, because you are ready to be aware of this. And like I said, for some of you, when you really take heed of what came through in this message, you're gonna be confronted with a lot of Tower moments in the coming, whether it's weeks or months. however long this needs to unfold, because it will be heartbreaking to have to learn the truth, the way it registers in your body about certain people that you keep around, and may just, I'm getting just have genuine intentions. And this is often the case if you're someone that moves with genuine intentions and you just don't, I don't know if we need to get into this, but this is as well where you set yourself off from other people just from the way you move. Like when I was saying people, like not understanding people who would even put themselves next to someone that they don't like, but of course they will put themselves next to someone they don't like if they see, oh, I can benefit off of this person, but you may not move that way. That's what sets you off from other people. That's what sets you apart, because as well, you may on a deep level understand you don't need to do that because you generate all of this for yourself. You just didn't have the opportunity to live that out yet. So once you do, which apparently is coming for you, yeah, you're going to be stepping on some people's necks. Because apparently as well, either you like fully taking yourself out of these dynamics, you're fully taking yourself out of these environments, or you just start setting boundaries, even if you are still in environments. Yeah, that's gonna, for one, bother a whole lot of people. But also, you just need to keep reminding yourself that it's not your responsibility. The way you make other people feel is not your responsibility. And it's easier said than done because you are very perceptive, so you naturally register it. That's why we were like in this mess in the first place. But that's not something that's gonna go away if you are perceptive. The only way that's gonna go away is if you numb yourself and you start shooting up or something. Like that's even why some people do it, because it's exactly like too painful. You have to move through life being on, antenna mode, fucking picking up everything left and right, even things that you don't want to, but instead of making it, a liability, this can actually become your power if and when you start listening to it. Because an issue here is that you don't listen to it. You don't listen to when your body's telling you, I don't feel comfortable here, I don't feel comfortable in this person, we gotta bounce. Or we gotta delete this person's number, or we gotta stop talking to them. Or if you do talk to them, then, keep a distance. You can also keep a distance differently, but it would probably be easier to just move in a way where you also then make space so that new connections come in that want to be coming in anyway, and you can recognize them because they land differently in your body. And for you to trust them, maybe you just need to have a few good experiences that override all the bad. Probably you do. Yeah, so there's gonna be a few endings coming up. Like those of you that read this message reaches and apparently really needed to hear this, there's gonna be a few endings, even if you just register it within your own like head or your being of like, yeah, I see it clearly now. I see it for what it is. I see you for who you are. I see how you feel about me. I see what you're doing. I see all of it, and I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not here for it. I'm not gonna entertain it. You don't need to call me up. You don't need to hit me up. You don't need to even think about me. Like, stay clear while I fucking build my empire and my stability that I deserve. And it's like, this is yours. This is your inheritance. That's the thing though, that as well I'm hearing really clearly. All of this, nobody can take away from you. This is your inheritance from the divine, from the Most High. Whether you got tricked out of it because you couldn't yet fully embody it and you weren't in an environment where you felt safe, that's another thing. If you were constantly scanning and hypervigilant, of course you're not going to want to receive all of your abundance and all of your blessings if you know you have a snake and a leech and a rat around you left, right and center. You're not going to feel safe to have it come in. That's why you need to get rid of these people. You need them out of your life so that you feel safe enough to actually receive all that is yours anyway. So I think you got the message. I'm really getting heated. I feel like I just want to fucking punch something. But that as well, you know, if this is an energy that I'm picking up from you, or this is part of your tower moment of when you just realize, like, that's often the case when you have these realizations. Even when you have tower moments, you can get really angry, whether it's towards yourself, whether it's towards other people, whether it's towards just not seeing it when it was just clear as day. You know, that's another thing that you will probably just process in your own time, whether it's through, I don't know, boxing a pillow. I mean, some can get rid of this energy through exercise. That's definitely always, like, just find a healthy way to get this out of your system if you have to. You know, I don't want any messages of you getting locked up or some shit. So yeah, just expel this energy in a way that is safe and that is healthy. But you're gonna be fine. I mean, this is a breakthrough. Whoever I'm reading for, you at the brink of a massive breakthrough. And people are gonna be pissed when they see what comes in for you, especially when you're in the space that you can receive it, and you're gonna get there. You just need to start moving differently. You need to start moving according to what you can see and sense is the truth. So I hope this assists you and supports you through what you are dealing with. We go way deeper, and you have more like ongoing support and guidance on Patreon, so that is always available to you. It's all linked below. If and when you feel like you need more hands-on, one-on-one approach, you can book in over my website. I'm here for that as well. All right, see you soon. Bye.